Hey, what's up everybody? It's me again. So I'm doing this video, this section of this video, this dialogue right here, the day after. The footage I'm going to upload in this section is going to be from the day before. And I had made in the other video that little, what do you call it? It's not a flat bar. I made that like rail slide box, and it's sort of shaped after a parking block. It's about 7.5 feet long. Here, I'll show you. Remember this. Take a look at the end of this puppy next to this heavy bag. So it's sort of jagged here. It sticks up. There's a little bit of a gap. And I made the wood here a little lower so you can rail slide off easy. Doing a 50-50, you're gonna have to ollie lift up to get over that. So anyway, I decided it was Friday. My kids were with me, and I figured I'd take this thing down to the skate park and have some fun with it out there on the really smooth concrete. And possibly there might be some other kids or other people out there that want to try it out. And we pull up. There's one person there. It's a friend of ours, Tommy, who we don't see all the time. But he happened to be there, and he was the only one there. Oh, cool, what you got? Hey, let me check that out, man. That thing looks pretty fun. Let's put it out here. Let's skate this thing. Hadn't even done a run yet. I set it out there. He starts doing some 50-50s and some board slides on it. And it seems like everything's cool. Normally, the last video I did, this was the board I used. And just sliding on the deck was how I did it. And this time, I brought this other board. Obviously, you can see the rails were on there before. I took them off. And that's where the rest of the story comes. So anyway, I tell him, hey, he's like, what board you got? And I say, you know, this is the one I brought. And he goes, oh, you got rails on it, you know? And he goes, what kind of rails do you have? And I said, pig rails. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. So this is almost like God sort of reaches down from above to spit some knowledge at me, saying, be careful. And so Tommy says, hey, dude, those are slick. You better be really careful on those. Have you ever slid on them before? I've never done any kind of a board slide on these rails before. This was about to be my first try. And so anyway, I thought I'm going to go at this really slow. So I pretty much just rode perpendicular, straight into it, and went up on the rails. And I'll tell you what, I shot off of that thing like Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation on that sled. And it, no joke, it took my feet out from underneath me. I flew across that thing, airborne, hands were touching the ground, and I landed on the end of that block right here on my back. Right here. And you know, if I wasn't a little chunky, I would show you the mass carnage on my back right now. As I'm flying through the air and making that forward motion, feet first, my back's the first thing that hit on the end of that plywood. And I stood up and I'm like, ugh, ugh. And the reason I'm making that noise is I can't seem to catch wind. So clearly I got the wind knocked out of me and I was trying to breathe. And you know, it's like, I stand up, I'm thinking, oh man, my back's kinked, I need an adjustment, blah, 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 whatever. He starts talking about it like, dude, you are going to be sore than you've ever been. I suggest you keep moving. I suggest, you know, you don't let everything swell up on you. You know, so I made an appointment at the chiropractor. I went over there. I'm a really tight person, and he could barely get anything to move. He got one rib back in place that was in the front, and then he was able to get another rib in the back that was popped out, and he said he felt a fracture. Didn't think it was compound, but he did feel a fractured rib or two on the side toward my back, and didn't think it was going to be a problem. He recommended me to do an x-ray. I don't have insurance. As it was $60 for a 10-minute trip to the chiropractor. And I justified it just because the next day rolls around, if I'm still having the trouble breathing and the pain throughout my arm and my chest, that seemed to be neck related. When he would touch my neck, I feel this fiery pain all the way through my shoulder. So last night was terrible. I couldn't lay on my back. You know, it was super painful. Anybody that has fractured ribs out there, I feel for you. That's a painful one. In about 2 months, I'm going to be turning 47. And I sort of have this belief running that every time I fall and get up and heal, my body gets more used to its new lifestyle, therefore making me stronger. And I sort of feel that about this injury. I had been complaining during my kickflip practice videos, which I haven't done that as much as I should have. I'd probably be acing kickflips every time now if I'd have kept it up. But saying that, oh yeah, my core is too weak. You know, I need to strengthen my core. Well, man, I got a crash course in strengthening the core yesterday. Every muscle from the waist up is sorer than I can't even believe. So, yeah, you know, when this is better, I feel like I'm going to be more solid. And I feel like, you know, I take off about 20 pounds, I'm going to be a beast. And, you know, I don't know if there's probably not a whole lot of 47-year-olds that really can believe that about themselves, but I do, so I'm just going to roll with that. Anyhow, what else did I have to say? So, yeah, obviously I took the rails off. I'm not doing the rails. My buddy John, who you're going to see in the video, he's a big guy as well. He had bones, rib bones, I don't know what he called them, but they're bones rails on his board. And he wasn't nearly sliding the way I was sliding. So maybe I'd replace it with some bones rails. A friend Tommy said the same thing. He said the bones aren't as slippery. That pig rails were the worst. So if you've never skated rails and you're looking at pig rails, maybe reconsider it. If you're you know, I was sliding on galvanized pipe or, you know, metal coping. So if you're gonna slide on pool coping, maybe that's the way to go. You know, that's why I got them. Jeff Grosso's like, yeah, pig rails are the best. So this is all the store had, though. I didn't have another choice. So anyway, my kids' boards both have these kind of rails too. They both have pig rails, and I've noticed just them in here just doing rock to fakie on this ramp. When they're on the board with the rails, the board gets a little sketchy. So I'm probably going to take the rails off their boards too. I'd rather them not slide than have a bad slide experience as they start to learn these maneuvers. So anyway, that's what I have. I'm probably going to make Wednesday night. Oh, one other thing. First thing my wife says when I get home from the skate session and hears about the crash, she says, "Did you get it on the GoPro?" No. And like last Wednesday night, I didn't film with the GoPro. And I just want to do that every night. Last Wednesday night, I went over the edge hitting some coping and fallen straight down to my face within inches of smashing my face. Everybody around said it was like the worst crash they'd ever seen me have. I didn't hurt myself at all, and I actually jumped up and saying, I'm a beast and you can't beat me, and then I dropped in and did it again. And sometimes I like to skate with a Dwayne Peters type attitude, like, you know, because it's just the opposite of fear, and it's the opposite of being afraid. And you know what? You get hurt mostly when you're being afraid. So anyhow, I'm going to try to get everything on footage. So some of you guys, you come across YouTube, you might come across my channel, and you think, man, what the heck is this dude filming everything for? He sucks, you know? And yeah, I do suck. I even probably suck compared to other guys even in my age bracket. But to be honest with you, from where I stopped skateboarding 25 years ago, I'm way better now than I ever was then. So everybody sort of starts back again and quickly achieves the level they left off at. And I've done that and then some. I mean, back in my younger days on transition, I couldn't pull a 50-50 stall. The only thing I had was like a carve grind and short. boom, up and over, just dragged my back truck an inch or 2 inches, front side and back side. And that was all, that was it. So the things I'm doing now are totally new to me. But yeah, the footage, I want to catch my crashes. If I have all these crashes saved on video, man, to me that's awesome. Because that shows, if I do pull it, hey, but this is what I went through to get it. And, you know, possibly if you ever get really hurt, you're definitely going to want that footage. I would love to be able to look back on that fall from yesterday and just, you know, document it. Why not? It's the stuff that makes YouTube video more fun. So, anyhow, that's what's going on. It's rainy for the rest of the weekend. Today's Saturday. I'm going to take the rest of the weekend off, really rest up, because I want to make Wednesday night. And I'm sure, you know, my rib cage area is going to still be in some pain. But, you know, I think for doing carving around the bull, hopefully I'll be in shape. And I'm going to bring the camera out there and film, and, you know, we'll have a fun night. Some of my friends, I don't think they really like the camera out there. It's sort of that whole thing, like, hey man, none of us are any good. But, you know, some of my younger friends that go out there, they are pretty good. But even they feel that way. So what? I'm going to film it. Peace.